Welcome back, students of Standard 8. Today we are going to discuss about another topic called data types. Now, what are data types? Let me give you an example. I write, or you might have seen me writing int x equals to 5 and so on and so forth. Here, as you know, we have already done, this is a separator or punctuator we call it. This is a literal, so this is a separator. This is a literal. This one is an operator. This one is an identifier, or we also call it as variable. And there is another one that is written as int. It's a reserved word or keyword that is associated with the variables. It tells us about the type of value that we are going to assign to this particular variable called x. Int means integer. So here integer means refers to the whole number. So therefore what happens, we are assigning 5. So 5 being a whole number is assigned to x, okay, using the operator called, that is equal to sign, that is an assignment operator. So using an assignment operator, we are able to assign the value called 5 to a variable known as x. So it tells us about the type of value that is being stored, that is being assigned to x. So in other words, data types are nothing but they are keywords, okay, that are used to assign the type of values, or that are used to, that signify the type of values that are assigned to a given memory location or to a variable. So what type of value is being assigned to a memory location is being signified by data types. So data types are keywords that are used to signify the type of values that are assigned or stored to a memory location, to a given memory location, or to a variable. Okay, so that is what we call it as a data type. Now, there are basically two categories of data types. The first one is called primitive data types, and the second one is known as non-primitive data types. Let us consider one by one. What are primitive data types? Primitive data types, they are also known as fundamental data types. These data types are present in the library of Java, that is JRE, that is called the library of Java, okay, by default. Remember, they are present in the library of Java by default. Their byte size is always fixed, they do not change. So the size of the bytes in terms of bits, they remain fixed throughout, they never change, and they are available throughout the program. So they can be used throughout the program. So that is what is known as a primitive or fundamental data types. A primitive data type is further classified into two parts, numeric and a non-numeric type. A numeric means that stores number, non-numeric which is other than numbers. Numeric is further classified into two parts, that is integer, which represents whole number, and floating, which represents fractional number or the real number. Okay, like for example 0.4, 4.3, 5.0. These are all examples of floating literals. Integer literal is further classified into four parts, byte, short, int, and long. So what happens here is 1 byte is equals to, remember, 1 byte is equals to 8 bits. Alright, 8 bits. And then short is equals to, a short is equals to 16 bits. Int is also is equals to 16 bits. That means, in other words, if it is 16, that means 2 bytes. This is also this is, sorry, this is not 16, this is 32 bits. So that means 4 bytes. And long is able to store 64 bits, that means 8 bytes. So please remember, 1 byte is equals to 8 bits, and short is equals to 16 bits. In other words, is also known as 2 bytes, because 8 bits equals to 1 byte. That means 16 bits will be equals to 2 bytes. Then int stores 32 bits, whole numbers, size of whole numbers, that is 4 bytes, and long stores 64 bits or 8 bytes, okay, of, that is the whole numbers. Then we have a floating. In floating we have float and double. Okay, float can store a maximum of 7 significant digits, whereas a double can store a maximum of 15 to 16 significant digits. Okay, so their byte size is also the same thing. In that case, that is, float has 32 bits, or we call it as 4 bytes of fractional values, and this one has 64 bits or 8 bytes of a fractional values. So please remember here, 8 bits, this one has 16 bits, this one has 32 bits, and this one has 64 bits. Okay, so this is all we have. Then we have char, the non-numeric. Char, that is, which stores a character, which represents a character type. That will we write it this way with a string like char x is equals to, we write over there 5. That is a character value. Character value is written in this order. Alright. So character has a 16 bits. It can store a 16 bits, or we call it as 2 bytes. And Boolean, of course, uses only the string. Here it uses only 2 bytes, and 1 byte is used for, just for the, it's only the 1 byte is used. The rest all, remains as it is. So in case of Boolean is what you call, it's a, basically it is a special type, okay, where a variable that contains either true or false, and say they are non-figurative constants. That is, they are either true or false. So like for example here, Boolean x is equals to false or true. We assign them this way. So this is how what we understand by the primitive data types, which is also known as the fundamental data types. Then we have the next one, that is a non-primitive data type. A non-primitive data type is also known as a reference data type, is also known as a composite data type. Okay, it's a reference data type. That means it refers to the primitive data types. Alright, it is composed of primitive data. It is made up of primitive data types. And class is a very good example of a composite data type, because what happens is, if you look at a composite data type, it is basically designed by the user according to his or her requirements. The byte size of a composite data type never remains fixed. They always vary as they are dependent on the constituent members. Like for example, a class may have a character data type, it may also have a float data type, it may also have a what you call int data type. Then in that case, the total data type will always change, it will always fluctuate, it will always vary. Okay, from one suppose one class may take integer only, the other class may take integer character only, another third class can take double, float, character, int, all those. So in that case, what happens, their byte size, the total byte size will always vary. So it depends on the constituent members. Alright, so that is how the primitive data types are different from what we call the composite data type or the reference data type. Arrays, it's a group of similar data types arranged in a memory location in a chain of locations known as a memory location known as cells. And of course, objects, as we know, is an instance of a class that we create in order to invoke other functions. So regarding array as an object, we will get into detail in the in the next, that is in your 10th standard as usual, 10, 9 and 10 standard. So just for now, at least you must remember what is the what are primitive data types, what are non-primitive data types, what do you understand by data types, and then another one is what is the difference between a primitive data type and a non-primitive data type. So if you take it this way, what is the difference between primitive and composite? You can get this type of question, or what are composite data types. So similarly we can define them separately, but here let us see. Primitive data types, they are also called fundamental data types. Please remember, they are called fundamental data types. Number one difference. This one, composite data type, as it is defined by the user, it is also known as user defined data types. Okay. The second thing is here, the byte size. The byte size of a primitive data type is always fixed, whereas the byte size of a composite data type always varies as they are dependent upon their constituent members. Okay, they are very much dependent on the constituent members. Means if one is having 3 data types, that means naturally their data type will be more than the other one which is having only 2 data types. Okay, depending upon the size. So one may have int and double, the other may have int, char and double. In that case, the one which is having int, char and double, their byte size, total byte size will always be more compared to the previous one. Then the third difference that you can say is that is availability, that is there here, this one, available throughout the program. Primitive data types are available throughout the programs, whereas composite data types, okay, the composite data types, what happens is their availability is restricted. Please remember, restricted availability is there. So their availability is restricted, that is only within the program, within a class, whereas this one, that is primitive data types, their availability is not restricted, they are available throughout the program. So this is what we have for today. In the next class, I'm going to discuss more about the data types, that is the conversion and all those things, okay, the related topics of data type. So till then, take care all of you during this pandemic. May God bless each one of you with good health in mind, body and soul. Thank you. Bye-bye.